Bonjour! Bonjour!
No.
Time for bladder check. Check.
So it's a show?
It's a lifestyle.
It's a religion.
My emotions! My emotions!
I'm still French.
Ouais, c'est pas faux.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose.
Non, moi je crois qu'il faut que vous arrêtiez d'essayer de dire des trucs.
Hello, hi, I'm Laura. I'm gonna watch My Hero Academia Season 2, Episode 18. I just watched today the episodes 15, 16 and 17. If you want to see my reaction videos about it, I'm gonna put some links into the eye and for the playlist that I made for My Hero Academia if you want to see all of the episodes into the chronological order. The last three episodes, no, the three last episodes, see, I'm disturbed. The three last episodes were a lot, to take, and I didn't expect that. Again, I knew that it would be surely these 4 episodes that I would watch, today, that it would be about the internships and that we would have all guys learning a lot. And for sure, with Iida searching for Stein, the villain, attacked his brother, I knew that we would have a fight, but right there it was not just one fight that we had, because we had also the Nomus coming, and we had so many heroes, fighting, coming, and over, we saw Andover fighting, we discovered his quirk, and that yes, he's a good fighter, and he has a good quirk, and he knows a lot. Cool. Doesn't mean that I'm impressed and that I was cheering, when he was winning against them. Nope, not at all, because I know that the guy is an asshole, and worse than that, in fact, with his family. We had the 3 Nomus, who were released right there by the other 2 villains. We had Stein. It took, our 3 guys, 3 students, to fight against him, but they were hurt badly. And Iida, that was really rough to see him like that and all. Everything was so rough to watch during these 3 last episodes, and I was so stressed for them, and it was so intense that really I'm feeling exhausted at the end of it. And even when we managed, to arrest him, when all guys, all 3, they managed to arrest him, he got out and all to save Deku. Because Deku said something right before, and also because he was against the Nomus and what they were representing. Stein, all of what he was doing was bad, clearly, and a lot of things that he was saying, I was not okay with it. But behind, all of his actions, his way of thinking, the fact that he wanted to kill these heroes because they were not good heroes, and the fact that the only one who could kill him, it would be All Might, because All Might in fact was a good hero and he wouldn't try to defend himself. I think that it was interesting, his way of thinking. And I loved the fact that seeing that Andover was there, it put him into a rage, and all, because he knows how bad Andover is. So yes, finally he was stopped by himself. In fact, by that thing about the broken rib and all, it was himself. He was stopped by himself, and by also the limitations of his quirk. He didn't have such a good quirk, in fact. He was a good fighter, but his quirk was really useful for a one-on-one, fight. But except for that, the more people, he had against him, the worse it was for him because of his quirk. His quirk was in fact really limited because of the timing, also of his quirk. But he was an interesting and great villain, and he was a good fighter, and I was really scared and worried for our guys. Now I'm wondering, these 3, they are students, and I managed to catch that villain who killed so many heroes. I would love, for the newspaper, for the media to know about it and to talk about it, and it would make me proud, it would make their families proud of them. I'm thinking of Iida, it would make his brother proud. I'm thinking for sure of Deku's mom. Andover, I don't care about making him proud. But I'm thinking also about Ochako, who is gonna be worried for them. I'm thinking about all of the other ones who are gonna admire them. I'm thinking about Bakugo, who is gonna be jealous of them. It could be cool. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but it could be cool. And no matter what, I'm glad because the other heroes who were right there, they saw that, and Gran Torino, he saw that. And Deku, he didn't realize it yet, but you know, before that, he had trouble to use his full power, you know, into his body during these 3 minutes. He couldn't do it, and right there, he did it entirely. And during more than 10 minutes, it's amazing! It's so cool! When he's gonna understand that, it's gonna be so cool. During this episode, normally it's gonna be the end of the internships for everyone. And maybe the return to the school, the consequences of it for that. We had a lot of information during the 3 last episodes. I didn't expect that at all. A lot about the Nomus, you know, how they are created. And again, I'm feeling sad about the guys, you know, the bodies, the ones who had this body, and the fact that their bodies are used, you know, to create this Nomus. And for sure, I think also about all of the other people, you know, who are killed to be merged like that for their quirks into this Nomus. That's really bad, and I'm feeling really sad for these people. And the master, normally it seems, you know, that All Might knows about him. That's what I understood. But yes, we had a lot of information, a lot of flashbacks to the Loki with his mom, to the Loki with his dad, Iida with his brother. It was cool. So I want to watch one more episode today, you know, even if the 3 last episodes were exhausting, to just relax my brain. Maybe we're gonna have a lot of information during it. I'm expecting it a little. But you know, just to calm my emotions and to be more at peace inside, you know, of my heart. So that's why I'm watching one more episode today for this session I've been watching. Okay, so let's go for this episode. Remember that if you want, you have my Patreon on which you can have 4 episodes of advance, which means 2 weeks of advance. That's a lot, guys. And you know, if you are into your holidays and stuff like that, and if you want to have more to watch, really, come on my Patreon, and you have extended and 4 reaction parts. I'm putting 4 reaction parts for the big episodes, and no matter what, the extended reaction parts are more interesting than the versions of these videos, you know, on YouTube. I'm not forced to cut each 5 seconds, I'm really letting the scene, I'm not forced to play with opacity and stuff like that. So if you want to support me and to have these advantages, you can come on my Patreon, it can be appreciated. I'm a little reactor. See that, you know, on YouTube, and just go on my Patreon to check that, you know, to check the number of people following me on my Patreon. I'm glad and I'm thankful for each one of you guys, but to be totally honest, you know, I would need twice, you know, twice or maybe more, like 3 times that number, you know, of people, you know, on my Patreon to just be able to not think twice each time that I'm making some food, you know, shopping. Just if you're wondering how it's functioning and all, it's like that. So if you want and if you can, don't put yourself into difficulties, you can come on my Patreon. Let's go for this episode. You're gonna have them, the 2. Oh, cool! Really cool! Okay, you arrested your 3 Nomus. What do you think? Not during this episode, please. I need a break. You did! I'm so proud of you! 3 students against that big villain who killed so many heroes. I hope that that you said it to the press, that you don't say that it was you.
盗撮と企画を重要視し、個性を部に用いないこととした個人の武力行使、容易に人を殺められる力。
Wait, they were defending themselves, like...
取得者が保護管理者の指示なく個性で危害を加えたこと。たとえ相手がヒーロー殺しであろうとも、これは立派な規則違反だ。君たち3人
I can understand that. Can you see right now that they were forced to do it?
この6名には厳正な処分が下されなければならない。待ってくださいよ。飯田が動いてなきゃネイティブさんが殺されて
Oh, so I forgot about him.
守って見殺しにするべきだったって。結果往来であれば規則などうやむやで良い。
I'm not saying that, but I'm beginning to think about my theory about why villains are beginning to be villains. If you have rules like that...
まあ待て。話は最後まで聞け。
But I love you too, Doroki, for reacting like that.
公表すれば世論は君らを褒めたたえるだろうが、処罰は免れない。ヒーロー殺しのやけど跡からエンデバーを功労者として擁立してしまえる。
You're gonna take the credit of it, so they're not gonna be punished.
だが君たちの英断と功績も誰にも知られることはない。善とある若者の偉大なる過ちにケチをつけたくないんだわ。どの道監督不行き届きで俺らは責任取らないとだしな。
Not at all. You are great.
ございませんでした。よし、他人に迷惑かかる。分かったら二度とするなよ。すみませんでした。よろしくお願いします。
Okay, it's better to end like that, but still, these rules...
共に平和を守る人間としてありがとう。最初から言ってくださいよ。
But Ochako is not gonna know. Bakugo is not gonna know. I would have loved for him to be a little jealous of them. Endover is gonna take all of the credit. Ooh! Who are you? His face like that?
警察は被害者の回復を待ち、犯行の詳しい動機などを取り調べる予定です。彼は何のために犯罪を繰り返してきたのか、その動機が一体何なのか。
Are they villains also?
どこもかしこも、もう二の次から。
They saw you?
世間はあんたのことなんか忘れてるぜ。
No.
どころか、俺らの方がおまけ扱いか。
Yes.
ケイオスは時に人を惑わし、根底に眠る暴虐性を引きずり出そうとしてくる。タイトな人生心身ともに引き締めよう。今すぐ帰りてえ。おっ、緑から返事来た。ボスだったし、やっぱ SOS だったんだな。あの位置情報は通報しといてよかった。
You all got it. Maybe, you know, his friends are gonna know the truth.
決したと言っただろうが。すいません。
I don't want that for you girls.
これでもだから1ヶ月後くらいにはテレビで流れるわよ。CG 盛りだくさんで。ヒーロー。私たちはヒーロー。さあ、パトロール出ましょうか。
Finally!
できた時すごくドキドキしちゃったから
I'm sure of it.
安静にねまたいろいろ聞かせてね
What he can say.
大変な時にごめんねじゃあ
恋バナ。
Oi, 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 oi.
いいだ、今診察終わったとこなんだ。
What?
左手、後遺症が残るさ。
Might! You're focusing on the damage, I'm focusing on the might.
両腕ボロボロにされたか。特に左のダメージが大きかったらしくてな。手術で神経移植すれば治る可能性もあるらしい。
Let's do that.
ヒーロー殺しを見つけた時、何も考えられなくなった。不思議にとらわれ死欲を満たそうだと。ヒーローから最も遠い行いだ。俺が本物のヒーローになれるまで、この左手は残そうと思う。
No! You won't punish yourself.
この時、もっと強く言っておけば。飯田君、僕も同じだ。今しめをこの手に。
You also.
一緒に強くなろうね。
The music is perfect.
なんか悪い
Because you're not injured?
俺が関わると手がダメになるみたいな感じになってる呪いか
And you know, I love for this anime to make real consequences for the fights, for the characters.
おかげで研究と半年間の教育権剥奪だ
Ah!
とりあえず体が動いちまうところはお前にそっくりだよこの指申し訳ございません今回電話したのは他でもないヒーロー殺しの件だ手をされたのはおそらく強い思想あるいは脅迫観念から来る威圧感だ
A mix of that.
お前の持つ平和の象徴観念と同質のそれだよ
Huh?
今後取り調べが進めば奴の思想主張がネットに
Ah, you're afraid for him to convince people?
必ず感化される人間は現れる
I think so. You know, he managed to convince me, to convince Iida with some parts of his speech. Some people, they're gonna just focus on that and they're gonna say that everything that he said before after was true because that part was true.
って返り討ちにされたチームの集まりからそういう思想ある集団だったとにつまり
It's clever to think like that, but you can't do anything to stop that.
俺の盟友でありお前の死志村を殺しお前の腹に穴を開けた男
The master is the one who killed your predecessor?
怪我でようや生きていたとは信じたくない事実です年寄りお前のことをけなげに憧れているあの子俺を見てしっかり話しといた方がいいぞ
Everything.
お前とワンフォーに
I want that, I'm expecting that since a long time.
泣くもの売れねえって嘆いてるばっかりはもっとんだよ兵器のサポート会社がヒーローの資格ねえやつに横流ししてるっつう噂まであるしなオールマイト以前が懐かしいよヴィランたちの暴走や衝動が熱気となって国全体に充満してただがオールマイトの登場によって全て壊さんだ俺もそろそろ引退の期間にそこだよここだけの話だ
It's not the voice of the master, you know, and his friend.
この動画見たか今最も熱いヒーロー殺しの動画だ
He has some fans?
ヒーロー殺しステイ
That's it?
赤黒地染め私立のヒーロー科高校に進学するも教育体制から見えるヒーロー間の根本的腐敗に失望10代終盤まで英雄回帰を訴え以後の10年間は義務達成のため独学で殺人術を研究鍛錬
To go after the heroes which were not going with his values and principles. But he was doing bad stuff, come on, like, and not everything that he said was correct.
粛清を繰り返すことで世間にそのことを気づかせる
Purged.
ヒーロー取り戻さねば
Deku, we can see Deku on that picture.
俺を殺していいのは本物のヒーローオールマイトだけだどちらも気づいてこいつの生き様は感染していくって
Interesting. I love the idea.
多くの奴らは気づいてないだろうヴィラン連合に向け動き始めている
But he was not with them. It's a misunderstanding. He was not with them, he was against them. They weren't against him. But that's what you wanted, in fact. I mean, did you plan all of that? Maybe not these two, but maybe the master planned that it could be useful for you guys. I'm not sure, you know, that it was really planned to send these three Nomus right there to create chaos, to not help, you know, Stein right there, to have him arrested, and so his ideas would be exposed, you know, to everyone. I'm not sure that it was really planned for that and all, but I really love all of the consequences of it that we can imagine. I mean, I think that it's really good idea that the writers, they thought about right there, because it can have big consequences Like, not only what he said right there at the end, this guy, like, all of the villains who are truly great, who were hiding, who were acting on their own, who maybe just, you know, they had that kind of thoughts, but they didn't want really to say out loud these thoughts to do something. Now they're gonna want to do something and they're gonna go with the League of Villains. That's really an interesting idea, and it's well written, it's well done, you know, the logic behind that is well done. Yes, all of these villains, and not just these villains, also people who are just going with their lives, they're gonna want to join the League of Villains. And you know, it's really like, you're gonna have people who are right now villains who are gonna agree with what Stein he did, you know, how he was thinking, they're gonna want to go with the League of Villains. You have also villains, you know, I mean, into their minds they were already thinking bad stuff and they're gonna go to join the League of Villains. But you're gonna have also people who are not gonna join the League of Villains, but still they agree with what Stein was thinking, and they're gonna be fans, you know, they're gonna be supporters of the League of Villains. It's not only like you're gonna have more people into the League of Villains, it's also like now the League of Villains is gonna have some fans, some supporters who can help them, who can just be there to admire them, to defend them. Like, it can be really dangerous, you know, not only to have the League of Villains, you know, with more people into it, but also to have people defending these ideas, defending the League of Villains and their future actions. Again, you know, these ideas that Stein was defending, it's not the ideas of the League of Villains. But again, we have to remember the season 1, and we have to remember that the League of Villains, it's just a facade, you know, for the Master and for really what all of them they want to do. So maybe they can use that, you know, also as a facade. Now the League of Villains is gonna think like that, like what Stein was doing and all, and use that as a facade. But you know, that kind of people who are thinking like that, if at some point they agree with a speech, with an idea, after that, you know, they're gonna agree and they're gonna accept everything that these people are gonna say, are gonna do. Because at some point they agreed and they accepted so much one thing that they can just follow, not blindly, but they can just follow all of the other actions and speeches, and they can be convinced by that, because at some point you manage to convince them with one thing. And I'm not just saying that for right there this anime, but also in the real life, it's really like extremes, all kind of extremes. When extremes, you know, in politics and stuff like that, they manage to convince one person because into one speech, one of their ideas convince, you know, that person. After that, you know, that person is gonna agree with it, and not little by little, but in fact really quickly is gonna embrace all of the other ideas around that this person said, and after that in the future is gonna accept and agree with everything because that idea was so extreme that, you know, after that you can just agree and accept everything. Do you understand what I mean by that? So, you know, that way I think that right there it's a really good idea, you know, really interesting way to create not only a new group of villains, a new League of Villains, which is gonna be big and powerful, but also to create an entity, also an idea, things like that outside, and all, it can be great. And they all understood that, not only the villains, but also the heroes. Gran Torino understood it, he said it to All Might, and that's where All Might, you know, is gonna have an important role, because even Stein himself, into that video, he said that the only one who can kill him is All Might, because All Might, you know, it was implied, is really representing the perfect heroes, you know, the real values and all. So that's where All Might is gonna be really important, to have back, you know, all of these people who are gonna be convinced by the League of Villains and their future speeches and actions. Do you understand what I mean? That's really important. These two at the end who were talking, into that bar, we don't have their identities. And I was listening to their voices. Are they the master, the one who created the Nomus, all of that? I don't think so. But All Might and Gran Torino, they said that the one who killed the predecessor of All Might is back, and he's also the one who created the Nomus, he's the master, right? But that person was supposed to be dead because that person was really badly injured, and that's a surprise for that person to be still alive. I don't think also that these two, one of them was the master because none of them was injured, like we didn't see in Iska and all. We'll see. That thing, about all guys who were not punished in fact, but at some point, maybe they would have been punished for what they did, using their powers and, using powerful powers, powerful quirks, without, being into the legal things of being with the heroes, with whom they were into that internship, and, without having, the card to be an hero and all. I'm glad that they're not gonna be punished. I'm glad, that he offered them that exit, like if you're accepting to not have the credit of arresting Stein, you're not gonna have any issue. I'm glad that our guys accepted. I'm glad that the police guy offered them that. Thank you, it was cool. But that rule, about the fact that even when you're in a real danger, when you might die, when you're attacked by a villain, you don't have the possibility to use your own quirk, which is big, which can save you because it's illegal and you could be punished because of that. It's not the first time that I can see the limits of certain of their rules, and that I'm wondering about this society and these rules pushing people to be villains. At some point, the fact that they are all categorized so young, as because of their quirks, and because of that maybe they're not, considered well, or, they're considered weak or really strong or useful, not useful, and stuff like that. Already that during the season 1 it was bothering me, and the more we are discovering about these villains and the rules of this society, and the more I'm thinking that some of these rules, I can understand them because, the logic behind them, I can understand that, but I think that it can push people also to do illegal stuff, and because of that, to become villains. Do you understand what I mean? It's bothering me a little. And I would love, for the anime to go further with that on the future, with maybe not the next episodes right there, but the next seasons also. It would be interesting to go further with that. Again, how villains are beginning to be villains. They are not born villains. At some point, they are pushed to be villains. They are not all, born with an evil mind. No. For financial reasons, because they did something bad and they had one of these punishments and they took that bad, and after that the society put them to be someone bad. Do you understand what I mean? For me, we can have a lot of cases like that, in fact. Okay, that was a cool episode, full of interventions, no fights, no one died. Oh, Iida is badly hurt for a long time, and he doesn't want to repair that soon. I don't like that because I have the impression that he's punishing himself. I understood all of what he said around that, but still, inside of it, there is that symbolic thing, about punishing himself for what he did. So, he's gonna remember what he did and he's gonna learn from that. It's a punishment. I'm not okay with it. But yes, except for that, they're all okay. Cool. I'm not gonna talk about Ochako and the guy she's flirting with, about how Deku he reacted after that. That was sweet. Bakugo and his hair, Momo, who is used on television. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there this video. That was a cool session I've been watching. A lot of things happened, you know, during this 4 last episodes. It was cool. It was a lot, but it was cool. So it's all for you and for me for today. So it's all for me for now. So bye for now. Bye.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine?